Welcome back guys. In this video I want to give you an update on the project and share some thoughts now that I've been testing it more. There are some good parts, some weak points and a few things I really need to improve before moving on. And so let's start the video. If you haven't seen the past episodes in this series, I'm trying to build an hardware that improves the SRS learning process. How can this hardware improve the SRS experience? The basic idea is that you can study your flashcards just by using a few buttons and a speaker, as you can see from the last video. But this is only the starting point. There are many features and study modes that could be developed with this project in the future. This is the main idea behind it, and later in this video I'll share some of my personal considerations as well. But before that, let's take a look at what I changed since the last video. And remember that all the code is on GitHub, so check the bio if you want to see the code. Let's start by having a look at the code of the Flask server that created the audio files with the Anki cards and send these audio files to the ESP32. So basically here I've added a clear audio folder that basically remove all the audio files from the audio folder. And the rest of the changes, I've done them to study this deck right here. I changed the language here because now we want to download the audio file in German instead of English. Here I have made another change because imagine you have just imported a new deck and you have 1,000 of new cards. You can't study all them at once. I only need 2 of the thousands of new cards, and so I've just used this random integer to choose these 2 cards. But this is only for testing purposes, it's not ideal. And now we're going to see the changes in the firmware. On the firmware I've done 2 changes. The first one was to change the script of the downloading of the audio files, because this is more solid and it has less probability of failing the download of the file. The other one was creating a clear root files. Basically this file will remove all the files from the SD. Not all the audio files, but we're going to see why. So as you can see on the main, we have these files right here that will be useful for the study session. So we don't want to remove these files, but only the audio files that contains the flashcards. How we're going to do this? Basically with this function right here, just imagine that we're going to see every file in the SD, but if this file is a folder, this function won't do anything. But if the file is not a folder, it will remove that file. This is the point where this function could be used. So these 2 are the only changes that I've done in the firmware. Before talking about the future of the project, I would like to take a moment to talk about the project itself, without focusing on the code or the hardware. Sometimes a project seems perfect when the idea first appears in your head, but once you start building prototypes, that perfect concept starts to fall apart and you begin to see the downsides. But this project, this is not the case. Every time I test this project, I keep thinking it's going to be useful in a long term, because it's so simple and intuitive to use. You just press a button, you hear something and you're learning. A good comparison is audiobooks compared to normal books. By reading a book you can learn in a more detailed way, but sometimes listening is just more comfortable, and because it's easier you end up going through more content and spending more time learning compared to only reading. At the same way, this project could increase the dose of flashcards that could be studied in a daily routine, same way as the audiobooks. And that's how I see potential in this project. I don't think it will replace a traditional Anki session, but it adds something more. A second study session, one that you can listen instead of visualizing it. With the right deck, it becomes basically an extension of your study workflow. But of course, this could happen only if the hardware will work how it's supposed to. I have to fix one major problem, and it's the storage problem. The SD SPI socket that I'm using, it's not working, and I think that the problem is that the SD module that I have is a cheap one, but since I want to be 100% sure that the prototype will work as I want before creating the PCB, I've purchased a lot of modules, and basically I will try different type of storages and I will find the perfect one for this project. In the future I will upload a video where basically I will compare different storages for your ESP32. So in the future I will surely fix this problem, I will create a PCB for this project, and I will use this project when I will study my flashcards. I'm sure I will get to that point, but for now, thank you for watching, leave a sub if you want to follow this series, and we're going to see you on the next one.